Hello everybody, my name is Wilder, and Nintendo dropped another Direct Mini out of nowhere, and this one had something big for us Story of Seasons fans. It was a brand new game! A brand new Story of Seasons game was announced, and it's not another remake like quite a few people thought it would be. It's a brand new installation in the series, and it's called Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town. That name will take some getting used to, but the name isn't what's important. What is important is how cool this game looks, so let's jump right into it and take a look at it together. So first, let's take a look at the story that's set up here. The trailer said that long ago, your grandfather, it's always grandpa, he must be getting tired of starting farms for you to take over. Your grandfather and his friends founded the charming community of Olive Town. You've always dreamed of living there, so now you've decided to leave the city life behind you and take over your grandfather's farm. However, what awaits you in Olive Town isn't exactly a farm, it's a vast, overgrown, and untamed forest. And the super interesting thing about all this is that you will be the one to cultivate and build up your own farm from scratch. Yeah, we'll be making our own farm this time around, out of this vast forest they have here. The trailer for Olive Town focused mostly on this farm cultivating aspect, and there were quite a few interesting things I'd like to point out. First of all, because the farm has been overtaken by the forest, you'll have to chop quite a few trees to make room to build a field for crops. Guys, we're not even getting a field to start off with, you gotta make all that yourselves. We're going completely from scratch with this one. Aside from the fields, you'll also come across old, abandoned farm buildings that you'll be able to fix up and use. And it looks like there will be bridges you can fix too. They'll probably lead to more farm and forest areas that you can unlock as you go. As you fix up the farm, you'll find a ton of stuff like places to mine, multiple different fishing spots, and lots of areas to forage for flowers and items. I'm guessing that the bridges you build really do lead to new areas. Either more of the forest farm, or even a type of mountain path like in the other games. And depending on what areas you open up, there will be different types and different qualities of items and flowers to forage. This is all speculation, of course, but seeing the bridge really opened up a few possibilities for me. I mean, there's always a mountain or foresty type area in Story of Seasons to forage in, so I do expect it to be in this game, and maybe one of the bridges will lead to it, you know? Anyway, this is cool and all, but the big thing about this game for me was seeing the ability to lay down pathways and place furniture around your farm. This is so awesome. I'm so excited. We'll be able to actually create our own farm. At first, this reminded me of a mix of Animal Crossing New Horizons and Harvest Moon A New Beginning. But after watching the trailer again, I realized that a lot of this trailer, specifically this shot right here though, reminded me so much of Stardew Valley. This is giving me really strong Stardew Valley vibes. You'll be able to lay down paths and place furniture and items around the farm, like these really pretty flower beds which look amazing next to the brick path. And you'll be able to build your farm from the ground up out of this untamed forest. Not only does that remind me of Stardew Valley, but also, everything I just said made me super excited for this game. This sounds like it's going to be a really cool game with lots of stuff to do and discover. The customization is such a good move as well. We've always had some type of customization in Story of Seasons. There have always been little color changes or details we could customize. But here it looks like they're going to let us go completely hands-on with it, and I am so ready to build this farm. In this shot here, there's a stone wall around the barn and chicken coop. This wall was placed by the player, you can just tell. Also, there are tilled squares in between the buildings. This is a cute little area just for your animals. I mean, come on, this is going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to see what other people's farms look like after a few weeks in. It's going to be really crazy. I really hope there's a lot of customization, not just with the pathways, but with the furniture as well. So obviously I'm extremely excited for the customization aspect of the farm, and everything is looking really good so far. But here's where we come to the problem I have, which, yeah, it sucks that I already have a problem, but I wanted to point this out to get your opinion on it. So, the way the game looks. Don't get me wrong, the game looks great on the surface. It's a nice upgrade from Mineral Town, especially with the character models. I love the Mineral Town chibis, but these characters are a step up. They have more detail, especially in their faces. But I guess the developers thought the same thing too, because in the trailer, when the main character was talking to people, there were no 2D character portraits. They were talking to 3 characters, all of them had names, and it looked like one was even maybe a marriage candidate? But none of them had character portraits for dialogue, and it made it look really empty. I'm gonna be honest, it felt kinda lifeless. It felt like I was looking at a Natsume Harvest Moon game for a second there, which is not a good thing. I mean, Rune Factory 5 took a huge graphical leap from 4, and they kept the character portraits. It makes the characters feel more alive and really lets you convey their emotion a lot more than a 3D model can in this context. The fact that I didn't see them in this trailer is really worrying, and I'm hoping that something will happen with them, but I don't know, it's just a little worrying, you know? I'm not sure if something will be done with it because, I mean, I don't know. They showed it in the trailer, and this release date's really close. We'll get to that in a little bit. And even on Nintendo's site, it showed pictures of the game without the 2D portraits, so I really don't think they'll be in this, which is quite a shame. It really would bring a lot more life to this game. But on the bright side, something interesting I did find on Nintendo's site, on the All of Town page, were portraits of the main characters. Check this out. They look really, really cool. I love their clothes. I'm hoping that just like in Friends of Mineral Town, we will get clothing customization. I mean, clothing customization is great. Every game should have it. I mean, it's great. I love clothing customization. So I hope we'll be able to customize them, but even if we don't get to, it's not really that much of a problem because they look really cool. I love this. I also love the pose they're doing. They're pretty cool. I like these main characters, so I'm really glad about that. They look really awesome. But because this picture looks so awesome, it just makes me a little more sad that the 2D portraits aren't going to be in the game, you know? They could have done a lot, and it's just kind of upsetting. Anyway, other than that, the only other thing I saw, really, was when the main character was walking through the field that was filled with crops. Looked really pretty, but the frame rate really struggled, which I thought was a little funny. But honestly, other than those two things, I think this game looks really good. It's still really pretty, and some areas of the game really stand out. And in some shots, you can even see the sun shining down really nicely. The game looks great, in my opinion, while still keeping a lot of that Story of Seasons charm. One thing I would like to see, but is definitely not a big deal, was a free-roaming camera, maybe? My favorite Harvest Moon is A Wonderful Life, for those of you that don't know. And that's the game that proved to me that a free moving camera in Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons can work really well. I think bringing the camera down to the player level and having a free camera really would have made you feel how vast the forest was and how much work you had to do to build the farm back up. It's not a problem though, this game looks great, I just thought I would mention it, you know? It's just something I would have liked. Anyway, finally, let's talk about the release date. Here's where they put the cherry on top. There was so much good in this trailer, so much good. And then they ended it with the release date of March 23rd, 2021. That is so close already. We're actually really close to the release date of this game. I cannot wait. I'm so glad they waited this long to announce it because now we have a lot less time to wait. I'm really, really excited. The customization of your farm is easily my favorite part of this trailer, and it's a huge selling point for me personally. I'm so glad to have the next Story of Seasons game coming, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty good time. Although I do have a few problems with it, and I don't know if those problems will be addressed because we're close to the release date, this game still looks crazy. The biggest selling point for me, like I said, is the customization. I cannot wait to get my hands on that farm. I am so ready. But I want to know what you think about all this. Do you like what you saw in the trailer, or do you have a few problems with it? Let me know in those comments down below. That's going to be all from me today. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. All links are down in the description along with the names of my wonderful, amazing patrons. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next one.